Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Hope everyone is doing good today. Hope everyone is feeling good. I know I am. I cannot complain. It is nice and sunny outside today and it's not too hot, so that's always a plus. As you already know from the title of this video, you already know what we're going to be discussing in this video. But before we get started, make sure you go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. Make sure you leave a comment, hit that subscribe button, and if you haven't, hit that post notification bell so that you don't miss out when I post another video. All right, so we're going to get into it today. So today I want to have a discussion about this because, you know, I recently saw, you know, this is discussed a lot on social media, you know, in different mom groups or, you know, what have you. And, you know, just not even in mom groups, just in general. And I recently ran across a discussion about this where, you know, in the discussion they were comparing C-sections versus, you know, giving birth vaginally, vaginal birth. And honestly, y'all, I don't even know why this is even being compared, or because, listen, I know that, you know, I've known people that have given birth vaginally, and I've known people that have had to give birth via C-section. Now, in the discussion that went on, this particular discussion, you know, I just saw people comparing, like, on one end, you had people who had C-sections, like, oh, you know, people who give birth vaginally, y'all, you know, y'all have the easy way out, you know, y'all don't really have a long recovery process, and, you know, you don't have to deal with being cut open, which is true. They don't have to deal with being cut open, but that doesn't mean that they don't have a long recovery process. And then on the other end, I see people who have given birth vaginally. They're like, oh, well, you know, people who have, you know, birth via C-section, you know, they took the easy way out. Y'all didn't have to go through labor. Y'all didn't have to go through all this. And y'all, like, I just don't understand why C-sections and, you know, giving birth vaginally is like something that is even compared, or why do some people feel like, oh, one is easier than the other, or, you know, this particular person took the easy way out because they had a C-section or whatever. Y'all, at the end of the day, when a woman gives birth, as I'm sure most of you know, when a woman gives birth, you know what I'm saying, when a woman gives birth, she's close to death. Like, let's just keep it real. A woman is near death when she's, you know, giving birth. And there are risks for both, whether you're having a C-section or whether you're giving birth vaginally. There are risks for both. If you're having a C-section, you know what I'm saying, the obvious risk is you can bleed out, you know, your vital signs may start to drop, or something may go wrong in your body, blood clot, you know, anything. If you're, you know, giving birth vaginally. You could, when you're pushing the baby out, you know, the baby could tear you as you're pushing it out. You could tear and then bleed a lot, bleed out. You know what I'm saying? Your blood pressure could go up. Anything could go wrong. Okay. And so I just don't understand why they're like compared so much, because it shouldn't be a comparison. It shouldn't be one is easier than the other, because at the end of the day, no matter how a woman gives birth, she is close to death, okay? I mean, her body is already going through a lot. And, you know, me personally, you know, I haven't given birth vaginally or anything, but I do have, you know, I do know people and have some friends that have given birth. Sorry about that, y'all. But anyway, so like I said, I haven't given birth vaginally. And, you know, although that is what I wanted, you know, in the beginning, things happen. And, you know, I had to give birth via C-section. And it was an emergency C-section at that. You know, my son, his heart rate was dropping as I was contracting. So he wasn't, each contraction I was having, his heart rate was dropping. So he wasn't, I guess he couldn't handle, you know, the contractions or, you know, whatever was going on in there. So I had to have an emergency C-section. And mind you, I was in labor for 13 hours prior to that decision being made. Okay. So, you know, sometimes there are women who would love to give birth vaginally, and maybe something happened, they had to have an emergency C-section. But it doesn't make anyone less of a mother, or it doesn't mean that they took the easy way out or whatever. At the end of the day, whether you're giving birth via C-section or whether you're giving birth vaginally, you still are a beast, okay? Because either way is not easy. Being cut open is not easy. Having to push this big head through your area is not easy, okay? So at the end of the day, it's like, it doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? So I never understood why this is being like compared. And so when I see situations like that on Facebook or any type of discussion like that, I try not to get into it or try not to enter the discussion, because it's just, yeah, like I just don't feel that it's a good discussion to be having, honestly. Like, if we're going to talk about our birth stories and, you know, share birth stories, cool. But if we're going to sit here and compare, like, oh, this one is, you know, I had a C-section, so it was harder for me. Like, who are we to tell the other woman, like, oh, yeah, you know, you took the easy way out. What I had to do was harder. Like, you don't know what that woman had to go through. Yeah, she might have had given birth vaginally, but guess what? She might have had complications that you don't know about. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they might have had a C-section, but guess what? Maybe it was an emergency C-section. They didn't have a choice, you know? So, yeah, I just never understood that. So, but I just had to kind of discuss that with you guys. So, y'all, tell me what you think. Leave a comment in the description box below. You know, what do you feel about C-sections, or even share your birth stories in the comments. I just had to come talk about that because I really never understood it, and it always like got to me when I see discussions like that. So, but that is all for this video. I just want to come discuss that a little bit with you guys. Make sure you stay tuned for the next video, and like I said, make sure you leave a comment below, and if you haven't already subscribed, which you should have, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and turn on your post notification bells, and I will see you guys in the next video. Deuces.